Madam Speaker, directed the acting leader of government to render a ministerial statement on Friday.
As the Member of Parliament, Ms. Brenda Nyirenda, this was on the continued floods in the Lundazi parliamentary constituency. This matter was inadmissible.
And the last urgent matter that was raised yesterday did come from Mr. Zulu on when the government would start selling cheaper maize. Consideration of Immigration Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 20. It was read a second time and committed of the full house. And so notice was taken at 17 that a speaker ordered the bell to be rung continued. And so committee stage of the Immigration Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2026, 6th February 2026.
The House also considered the Food Reserve Bill, National Assembly Bill number 33 of 2025, and committed to the Committee of the Whole Committee stage to be taken on Friday, 6th February 2026.
02, there you have it. That's the bill considered on the floor of the House yesterday. Time now out of paper.
Today, Thursday, 5th February 2026, we expect announcements if there will be any. We also expect the special address to the House by His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. Urgent matters without notice if there will be any. We expect presentation of one bill, and we also expect the House to consider 7 for oral answer understanding.
And so the long-awaited John Mahama today at the President of Ghana did arrive in the country. Yes, was received by the Republican President of Zambia, that's Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. So details of what has been happening since the arrival of the Ghanaian President will be unveiled right here on this platform. Of course, the address is expected to take place at 15 hours. Matimba, a number of dignitaries, invited guests are here. Some citizens are from the Republic of Ghana. Also, he has invited guests to witness the address by the Ghanaian President.
Yes, Claudette, I'm sure everyone is looking forward to hear the address by the Republican President of Ghana, who is expected to arrive at about 15 hours. And after that, a special address by the Republican President of Ghana. We do expect urgent matters. We also expect to present a bill
of what this particular bill actually provides for present and future health, social use, to the harmful products, tobacco devices, nicotine devices. We expect the House to consider 7 questions for oral answer understanding order number 80. So as we wait for the Speaker's procession, we'll go through some, the questions that will be tabled.
The paper is expected to come from Katombola Member of Parliament, Dr. Clement Andeleki, the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. He wants to find out in Part A when the government will engage a new contractor to construct the Kalomo Road, what the estimated cost of the project is, what the time frame for the completion of the project is, whether the roads will be tarred, and if the road will be tarred, why.
Question 147 is expected to come from Mr. Kampianga of Mpika. He's going to ask the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development a question in 4 parts. Whether the government has any plans to construct Mpika and Awale Road in Mpika district. If so, when such plans will be implemented, the estimated cost of the project is, and if there are no such plans, why.
The next question will come from Kamfinsa Member of Parliament, Mr. Christopher Kangombe, and he will direct his question to the Minister of Energy. He wants to find out a question in 3 parts. what are the name of the company constructing the crude oil refinery in Ndola district is, why the government opted to construct a new refinery as opposed to recapitalizing Indeni oil refinery. And in the last part of the question, he wants to find out what the terms and conditions of the contract between the government and the company at AR once construction completed.
Mr. Twazal Kanengo asked the Minister of Health to construct additional staff for the foreign health centers in Kasenga, Pembo, Luona, just now, and Luona, Nengonga. Just now, the House. Good afternoon.
Madam Speaker.
And the sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of wealth and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We want freedom's fight, oh, one, strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by those who blend. Let us all our people join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one, strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace in Zambia's sky, like a noble eagle in its flight. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free. Praise be to God, praise thee, bless our great Zambia, Zambia, Zambia. Green and we stand under the flag of our land. Zambia, praise to thee, oh, one, strong and free.
Prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the officers of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to consider with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important responsibilities in this land. Let your blessing descend upon us here in Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation, in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. All the honorable members, I have one announcement to make. Honorable members, please take note that yesterday, the President of Ghana will be moved by the acting leader of government business in the House on Tuesday, 10th February 2026. I thank you. May the acting leader of government business indicate the time His Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will arrive to address the House.
Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that His Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, will arrive at 15 hours to address the House.
I suspend business until His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana,
Good afternoon. Live pictures on Parliament television. An announcement has just been, made by the acting leader of government, business, Honorable Jack Mwimbu, indicating that Ghana, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, addressed the 15 hours. And so business has been suspended until the Ghanaian president would do at about 40, the assembly, making way to the National Assembly of Wales. That's she is.
Claudette, we expect President National Assembly at about for the to address Parliament, also to make John Mahama is President.
About the heads, notable, dignitaries that have visited, Parliament. We did have in 2022 the President of Italy, that's His Excellency Sergio Mattarella. He did, visit Zambia and address the Zambian Parliament. That was in 2022. We also did have the President of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. She did address the Zambian Parliament in 2022. Mozambique, His Excellency Felipe Jacinto Nyusi also did take time to address the Zambian Parliament, apart from the other engagements that he had when he visited the country. That was in June 2024.
We also had the President of Burundi, His Excellency Evariste Ndayishimiye, who addressed the National Assembly of Zambia on 2nd August 2024. And he indeed called for intensified trade and investment, and his visit included strengthening bilateral ties with President Hakainde Hichilema, and also the signing of MOUs and officiating other 96 agriculture and commercial show. And today we are here to witness the 5th President of Presidency, John Dramani.
So the addresses by these various dignitaries that come to Parliament actually are very great importance. They actually reaffirm shared democratic values, and they do enforce ties between systems. And this time around we are talking about Zambia. And so on the screen, that was the arrival of the President of Ghana, His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana. He did arrive in the country yesterday, Wednesday, 4th February 2026, and that's the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. The President was received by President Hakainde Hichilema. The President Hakainde Hichilema was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Mutinta, Hichilema, and various, dignitaries, residents of, Ghana that actually live here. They're actually at the airport to receive the President of Ghana.
Of course, and that's on your screen. That's the President of Ghana with the wife, who is Mrs. Lodina Mahama. That's the arrival from Kenneth Kaunda International Airport yesterday when they arrived in the country. So just there, that's the President of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Okay, so this is actually a typical, visit. You do remember that in 2023, President Hakainde Hichilema was actually in Ghana, for a state visit, and so this time around, the President of the Republic of Ghana is reciprocating, the visit, and a number of meetings, scheduled meetings actually await, both heads of states. We know that in the morning, bilateral talks were held between the two, heads of state. And the visit of the Ghanaian president actually does underscore the long-standing cordial relations between Zambia and Ghana, founded on the Pan-African solidarity, shared values, and mutual commitment to advocating Africa's development agenda. So the president, respecting the guard of honor, he was actually accorded a 21, gun salute, and that was all happening yesterday, Wednesday. We know that this is the two-day, state visit. It comes to an end. Tomorrow we do expect the President of Ghana to attend the Zambia-Ghana Business Forum, and the forum is actually aimed at promoting trade and investment opportunities within the framework of the African Continental Free, Trade Area.
Yes, Claudette, and also to make mention that earlier today in the morning, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, accompanied by the Minister of Honor, did go to Embassy Park for State House, and the President of Ghana did lay some wreaths at Embassy Park, where this is where the presidential burial site is in Lusaka. So that was happening in the early hours of today.
Absolutely, Matimba. The presidential burial site, a very significant place in Zambia's history. This is where former presidents are actually buried. So each time we have a head of state, a notable person that comes to visit Zambia, they take time to go and pay respects to the former presidents of Zambia. They did play a very huge part regarding Zambia's transformation and other sectors. So it's actually tradition that every time a visiting head of state comes through to Zambia, they pass through the presidential burial site. So that was what was on the agenda today for the President of Ghana, the presidential burial site, where he did lay some wreaths, and after that he did hold bilateral discussions or talks, if you may, with President Hakainde Hichilema. Matimba, let's now talk about the relationship that Ghana and Zambia have. I know it dates back as far as the 1960s when you talk about our former founding president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, and the founding father of Ghana, that's Kwame Nkrumah.
Yes, Claudette, the bilateral relationship between Ghana and Zambia dates back to the early years of African independence, particularly to the era of President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who was Zambia's founding president, and of course Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was Ghana's first president. And of course this period laid the ideology, political and moral foundation of relations between the two countries. And also to make mention that both leaders were leading architects of Pan-Africanism, united by a shared vision of African unity, self-determination and liberation from colonial. Ghana, which attained independence in 1957, became a major supporter of liberation movements across Africa, including in Southern Africa, and Zambia, which gained independence in 1964. And President Kenneth Kaunda became a frontline state in the struggle against colonialism and minority rule.
All right, so in case you've just tuned in, live pictures coming your way here at Parliament buildings. The chamber business has been suspended for a few minutes as we await for the arrival of the Ghanaian President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. He will be addressing the House at 15 hours, and so there was an announcement by the acting leader of government business, Honorable Jack Mwimbo. He did indicate that the President of Ghana is expected to address the House at 15 hours, and so business has been suspended until that particular moment. We did see earlier on the Speaker actually go to meet the President of Ghana, and the Speaker, as usual, accompanied by the Sergeant at Arms. And so as soon as the President arrives here at Parliament buildings, we'll be able to show you exactly what is going to be happening. Of course, as per tradition, the President is going to visit the Speaker's chamber to sign in the Speaker's book, that's the visitor's book. And then after that process is done, the Ghanaian President will be led into the chamber so he can do his address starting at 15 hours. We're still talking about the relationship, Matimba, between the two countries which date back as far back as the 60s. And so these two countries, Zambia and Ghana, actually they do enjoy cordial and long-standing relations rooted in shared history. You talked about the Pan-African solidarity and mutual respect. So both nations actually did emerge from colonial rule with a strong commitment to African liberation, democracy and non-alignment. So the founding leaders of both countries, that's Dr. Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana and Dr. Kenneth Kaunda of Zambia, were prominent Pan-Africanists who believed in African unity as the foundation for political independence and economic self-reliance. And this shared ideology heritage continues to inform bilateral engagement today. This is why we have seen the President of Ghana actually visit Zambia. He was elected for the second time in 2024.
Yes, in 2024.
But previously he did rule Ghana from 2013 to 2017, and this time he's ruling Ghana for the second time. And so it's important to learn that this relationship between the two countries has actually blossomed from 1960s to date, for the better, I believe.
Indeed, Claudette, we must make mention that Ghana and Zambia share a long-standing relationship from as far as the era of Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who was the first president of Zambia. And Ghana and Zambia also, they share values in Pan-African vision. Ghana and Zambia have historically championed African liberation, unity, independence and self-reliance. These shared principles form the bedrock of their bilateral relationship and provide a solid foundation for future collaboration. And so President Mahama's visit today to the Zambian Parliament address reinforces these shared values, highlighting a collective drive for a more integrated, prosperous and self-determined Africa, a message that resonates deeply in Lusaka and across the continent. And so President John Dramani Mahama's visit to Zambia and his address to Parliament, these are historic moments that not only celebrate the strong diplomatic ties between Ghana and Zambia, but also provide an opportunity to deepen cooperation across multiple sectors. And so as we wait for the President of Ghana to address the Zambian Parliament today, actually is the fifth president from 2021 to address the Zambian parliament. And also his personal leadership shaped by decades of public. And so on your screen, that's Madam Speaker with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama making their way to Madam Speaker's office, where he's expected to sign in the visitor's book. And so on your screens, that's the President of Ghana and Madam Speaker just greeting people who are at the foyer at National Assembly of Zambia Parliament building foyer. And so anytime from now, they will be making their way to Madam Speaker's office, where the President is expected to sign in the visitor's book.
So the President of Ghana is accompanied by his wife, Lodina Mahama, and they actually do have 7 children together. So just about now, we'll talk a little bit about the President, who is a Christian and believes in the importance of respect for others. He has a keen, interest in environmental affairs, especially the problem of plastic pollution in Africa, which he committed himself to addressing during the tenure as Vice President. It's important to learn that the father of the Ghanaian President actually was a politician in the Kwame Nkrumah government. He was a minister and a member of Parliament. He actually served in the Kwame Nkrumah government. So you can see that politics actually runs in the family of the Mahamas, and today we have the Ghanaian President being President for the second time. He rose through the ranks. He first of all was a member of Parliament, a deputy minister, a minister, and then here he is as a president. It's interesting to learn that the President of Ghana is an avid writer. He loves to read. He's actually published a number of articles that have been he's actually written a number of articles that have been published internationally and nationally. That's in Ghana. And his first book is titled "My First Coup d'Etat." He's actually done other true stories from the lost decades of Africa, and was published by Bloomsbury on July 3rd, 2012. That's 2012. And so Madam Speaker Dr. Nelly Muti is leading the Ghanaian President to the Speaker's chamber, and then there the Ghanaian President is going to sign in the visitor's book, and after that process is done, we do expect the President of Ghana to be led to the chamber so he can have that long-awaited address, Matthew.
Yes, Claudette, from what you've just mentioned, I think John Dramani Mahama background, it blends with education, public service, and also politics. And from working abroad and in development roles to rising through Ghana's political ranks, from being an MP to Vice President, and now that he's the President, he has had a long and influential career in Ghana and in regional affairs also.
All right, so after completing his education, President Mahama went on to pursue an additional postgraduate diploma in social psychology at the Institute of Social Sciences in Moscow, and returned to Ghana from 1991 to 1996. President Mahama did work at the Information Culture Research Office at the Embassy of Japan in Accra, and he actually moved on to work with Plan International Ghana as International Relations, Sponsorship Communications and Grants Manager. He is an eloquent champion of underprivileged. He was actually appointed Deputy Minister of Communication, and he rose to become the substantive Minister of National Democratic Congress, which was the current ruling party, and handed over power to the newly elected New Patriotic Party's government.
Yes, and so just now we look at his political career and leadership. President Mahama's political journey began in earnest in 1996 when he was elected Member of Parliament, a role he held until 2009. And during this time he served as Deputy Minister and later Minister for Communications. And in 2009, he became Vice President of Ghana under President John Evans Atta Mills. He constitutionally assumed the presidency, a moment widely praised for Ghana's adherence to democratic rule of law. And following President Mills passing in 2012, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama served the remainder of that term and was subsequently elected president in his own right in late 2012, serving as president from 2013 to 2017, and he was elected again in 2024.
So in case you've just tuned in, the President of the Republic of Ghana has actually arrived here at Parliament buildings. He's actually in the Speaker's chamber, and in a moment from now he will be in the chamber to address members of Parliament and other invited guests that are here to witness the particular address. Now, the address to the Zambian Parliament on this particular day is very important because it does strengthen interparliamentary cooperation, respect for Zambia's democratic institutions, renewed bilateral partnerships, and a shared vision for Africa's economic transformation. So, opportunity to articulate a agenda for the Ghana-Zambia relations by integration, innovation, and shared prosperity. And so we did mention that the President of Ghana has the Zambian Parliament. There them, the President of Tanzania, we did mention, the President of Mozambique, the President of Italy, just to mention but a few, addressed the Zambian Parliament, apart from other engagements that they actually do have when they come here on a state visit.
And the political solidarity and liberation struggles between nations, that's Ghana in Zambia. During President Kenneth Kaunda's tenure, Zambia played a pivotal role as a host and support of Africa, and Ghana under successive governments inspired by Nkrumah's Pan-African philosophy strongly supported these efforts diplomatically and morally, and these shared commitments to Africa liberation and sovereignty forged a deep bond of political trust and solidarity between the two nations, a bond that continues to underpin Ghana-Zambia relations today. And the Kaunda era also therefore represents not only the beginning of formal diplomatic relations, but also the establishment of shared values that transcend generations: freedom, unity, non-alignment, and of course African self-reliance.
Right, and so building on the goodwill, Ghana and Zambia are now focused on historical solidarity into practical economic partnerships in areas such as trade and investment under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, agriculture and food security, mining and value addition, energy and renewable resources, infrastructure and industrial development, digital innovation and technology, just to mention very few.
And from the Kaunda era to the present day, people-to-people relations have actually been a quiet but a powerful pillar of Ghana-Zambia relations. Educational exchanges, professional cooperation, and also cultural interactions have fostered mutual understanding and lasting friendships between Ghana and Zambia. And these human connections, they have strengthened diplomatic ties and ensure that the bilateral relationship is not only state-driven but also people-centered.
And so President Mahama's visit to Zambia, including his address to the Zambian Parliament today, should therefore be viewed as the culmination of more than 6 decades of friendship. So the address actually does have an opportunity to honor the legacy of Kaunda and Kwame Nkrumah, reaffirm shared democratic and Pan-African values, deepen economic and developmental cooperation, and also chart a joint path towards regional prosperity.
The bilateral relationship rooted in the Kaunda era is one of historical depth, geological alignment, and enduring friendship. goes over the 1960s to today's pace of democratic governance. The partnership its people.
And so, as indicated by the acting leader of government business, Jack Mwimbu, the President of the Republic of Ghana, will address the House at 15 hours. We just have a few minutes to go before 15 hours in case you've just tuned in or joined us. The President of Ghana is actually in the Speaker's chamber. He arrived Parliament buildings or grounds a few minutes ago. So we'll be expecting to walk into the chamber in a few minutes from now. He's accompanied by his wife, Lodina. So the President on air, he arrived in the country yesterday, and he's held a number of meetings with the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, and other dignitaries. In the evening, we expect a banquet to be held in his the banquet is going to be held at Intercontinental Hotel, and of course tomorrow the President of Ghana is going to be so it's a fully packed 2-day state visit. Of course, it does come to an end on Friday, the 6th of February, which is tomorrow.
And so maybe just now we just talk about the independence about Ghana. Ghana gained its independence on 6th March 1957, becoming the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to break free from British colonial rule. And before independence, Ghana was known as the Gold Coast and was administered by Britain. The achievement of independence marked a major turning point not only in Ghana's history but also in the history of Africa as a whole, and the struggle for independence was led by... So on your screen there, that's the First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Mrs. Lodina Mahama, who has just made her way to the chamber as we wait for Madam Speaker and the President of Ghana also to make their way to the chamber as we expect him to address the House today.
So the entrance of Ghanaian First Lady, Ms. Lodina Mahama, actually symbolizes the fact that any time from now, the President of Ghana will be in the chamber to address the House and other invited guests that are here in the chamber.
And also on your screen, that's Speaker there, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of Ghana, in Madam Speaker's office. They are just interacting there as we wait for the President and of course Madam Speaker to make their way to the chamber as he give his address to the House. So
okay, so this happened a few minutes ago. That's Ms. Lodina Mahama. She's actually accompanying the President of Ghana. So that happened a few minutes ago in the Speaker's chamber, and of course the President of Ghana did sign in the visitors book as per tradition. Every time we have a notable person visiting, head of state come to Parliament, they always sign in the visitors book. And so we did see the wife to the Ghanaian President, Ms. Lodina Mahama, actually enter the chamber. And so there you have it. That's the President of Ghana and Madam Speaker making their way into the chamber, being led by the Sergeant at Arms. Good afternoon.
Honorable members of Parliament, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana and Madam Speaker.
We may take our seats. Honorable members, order. Honorable members, the House wishes to welcome to the Assembly the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. We are honored, Your Excellency, that in the course of your official visit to Zambia, you have decided to come and address this august House. May I now invite you, Your Excellency, to deliver your address. Your Excellency.
Madam Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, I consider it a great honor to have been invited to address this august House. I know that it is an honor done to visitors who are held in high esteem to be invited to address a Parliament. Having been a member of Parliament myself for 3 terms, I am quite familiar with the traditions of the House. And having been president too, I'm quite used to heckling, so I won't have a problem. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, honorable ministers of state, senior government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me acknowledge and introduce my wife seated to my left, otherwise known as domestic commanders-in-chief. I'm deeply honored to address this august House and to convey warm fraternal greetings from the government and people of the Republic of Ghana. I wish at the outset to express my profound appreciation for the gracious hospitality extended to me and my delegation since our arrival in this beautiful city of Lusaka. This visit reaffirms the enduring bonds of friendship and solidarity between Ghana and Zambia, bonds that have been forged during the historic struggle for Africa's political emancipation under the visionary leadership of our founding fathers, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and Dr. Kenneth David Kaunda. Their shared Pan-African conviction, sacrifice, and courage laid the foundations on which our two nations and indeed our continent continue to build. Ghana's historic support for Zambia's liberation struggle is well documented, and generations of Zambian freedom fighters were shaped by Pan-Africanist ideals fostered at institutions such as the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute in Winneba. Today, our friendship remains grounded in mutual respect, shared democratic values, and a common aspiration for peace, development, and African dignity. Right Honorable Speaker, the responsibility of our generation is clear. That is to translate historic solidarity and political goodwill into concrete economic and social dividends for our people. Our forebears won us independence and nationhood. Now we must win the fight for economic transformation and prosperity for our people. We must confront the battle of the economic emancipation of our country at a time when global geopolitics is undergoing tectonic shifts. Today, global humanitarian assistance is shrinking, official development assistance is declining, defense spending is rising, and traditional multilateral systems are under strain. Africa therefore faces a different pandemic, the pandemic of unfulfilled potential. Millions of our young people remain unemployed, health systems are fragile, and economies extract wealth without building capacity. Madam Speaker, Africa must confront this changing reality with transparency and pragmatism. Ago, I had the opportunity to address global leaders in Davos, where I spoke about the Accra Reset Initiative and the urgent need for Africa to redefine its development trajectory. Too many African countries remain trapped in what I describe as triple dependency. Dependency on external actors for security choices, dependency on donors for health and education systems, and dependency on suppliers of critical minerals while capturing little or no value. This condition undermines genuine sovereignty. History teaches us, however, that a crisis can sharpen resolve, and so Africa must take its destiny into its own hands. The Accra Reset does not seek to disrupt global partnerships. The Accra Reset advocates the forging of new partnerships to transform global systems that have been rigged against Africa and much of the global south for a long time. We must reset the narrative through unity of action, self-reliance, and the leveraging of our comparative advantages for industrial growth and economic transformation. Madam Speaker, we demand the redesign of outdated governance systems, including greater representation in global institutions such as the UN Security Council. We are calling for a rejigging of the global financial systems that have kept Africa in poverty and debt. While we must work collectively to achieve these objectives, much depends on how we act locally. Leadership is fundamental to achieving the goals of the Accra Reset Initiative. In Ghana, we've started taking action to change our narrative. Since my return to office 1 year ago, my administration has been guided by a clear, pragmatic reset agenda that is focused on economic recovery, macroeconomic stability, job creation, and inclusive growth. This approach is anchored in fiscal discipline, productive investment, good governance, and strengthened regional cooperation. We have chosen execution over excuses. We have reduced the size of government to 58 ministers and deputy ministers, including regional ministers. We are digitalizing public services to fight corruption, and we are investing in skills for the future, digital green skills and industrial skills. We have restructured our debt to invest in people, not just to service loans. And this is what resetting Ghana means, and it is delivering results. Honorable members, I'm pleased to note that Ghana has made tangible progress. Inflation has declined sharply, from 23.4% at the end of 2024 to 3.8% in January 2026. Currency stability has been restored, the Ghanaian currency appreciating by 32% and ranking among currencies in 2025. We've successfully renegotiated our debt obligations on terms that safeguard our national sovereignty and ensure sustainability, and we're steadily exiting the IMF extended credit facility with dignity as partners and not as supplicants. These reforms are not merely national achievements, they contribute to regional confidence and integration. And in this regard, Zambia is a natural partner. The complementarities between our economies, notably in mining, agriculture, energy, and manufacturing, present compelling opportunities for joint ventures, value chain development, and expanded bilateral trade. Right, Honorable Speaker, to achieve economic transformation, Africa must not be ashamed to leverage its comparative advantage in its natural resource endowment. Africa must exercise greater sovereignty over its natural resources if it is to create prosperity for its people. The era where we parceled out large-scale concessions to speculators who then turned around and flipped them for huge profits must end. We have the know-how, The technology and capital are available, and indigenous companies must be encouraged to participate in the extractive and mining sectors. We must support our indigenous private sector to capture the commanding heights of our economies. In Ghana, mining and the extractive sector play a significant economy. And much like Zambia, other African countries, we are the source of gold, bauxite, and manganese. And yet very little value is added to these minerals locally. My country is changing that narrative. Ghana established the Gold Board in April last year to take control of and regulate our gold exports. The Gold Board was given sole authority to export gold out of Ghana. Since the establishment of the board, gold exports from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector have increased from 63 tons to 104 tons in 10 months. And the sweetest part of it is that this 104 tons have earned Ghana over $10 billion in forex inflows. We're also taking steps to domesticate the value addition of our minerals. The Gold Board has recently signed an agreement with a local gold refinery to refine about 1 ton of gold every week, rather than exporting the raw Dory gold. We aim to commence local processing of our manganese and bauxite of exports. We've placed the flat rate royalty system for minerals with a sliding scale system market of the mineral. In the Global African Investment Summit, this initiative is led by Akin Adesina, former president of the African Development Bank, and a few collaborators to find new ways to leverage the continent's natural resource endowment to raise more affordable financing to support Africa's economic transformation. This is an exciting initiative and has the potential to unlock enormous financial resources for Africa's development. As the African Union champion of African financial institutions, I'm leading advocacy for the repatriation and investment of part of Africa's huge foreign reserves financial institutions. Most of our foreign reserves are by colonial construct held in Western financial institutions, and in most cases generate no interest. If 30% of all the foreign reserves of African countries were repatriated and invested in our own African financial institutions, such as the African Development Bank, it would create an immense pool of wealth that could drive rapid infrastructural and economic growth. Madam Speaker, no African country can survive in isolation. We must build regional prosperity platforms, shared manufacturing zones, integrated energy grids, and digital infrastructure. We must negotiate with one voice on minerals, trade, and climate finance. We must be united in our strategy, just not as a slogan. Madam Speaker, a critical factor in changing Africa's story is governance and leadership. We must admit, Africa needs and deserves transparent and accountable leadership. The institutions and the laws to fight corruption must be allowed to operate without fear or favor. Abuse of public funds must be punished and use them efficiently for the good of our people. As President Obama said during a visit to Ghana, and I quote, he said, "Africa does not need strong men. It needs strong institutions." We must build our democratic institutions to be independent and efficient. Parliament and the judiciary must work independently in the public interest. Leaders must respect their oath of office to respect the Constitution. In our sub-region of West Africa, democracy is backsliding. with a return to military dictatorships. Ghana is, however, on a mission to prove that democracy works and that our people can achieve prosperity and opportunity under a constitutional democracy. Right, Honorable Speaker, I commend the efforts of the government and people of Zambia to stabilize your macroeconomic environment. The improved performance of the Zambian currency, the kwacha, and the ongoing reform agenda sends positive signals to investors and regional partners. And so Ghana looks forward to deepening trade, investment, and financial cooperation with Zambia to reinforce resilience and shared prosperity. Ghana follows Zambia's democratic journey with keen interest and confidence. And as Zambia prepares for general elections in August this year, we wish to express our trust in the strength of your democratic institutions and the commitment of the Zambian people for free and fair elections. It is in this spirit that Ghana and Zambia have revitalized our Permanent Joint Commission for Cooperation, providing a structured, results-oriented framework for collaboration across all priority sectors, including trade, investment, energy, tourism, mining, agriculture, education, science and technology, youth development, and defense cooperation. Just this afternoon, we have signed 10 memorandums of understanding to act as the framework for our joint cooperation. Prominent among these is the Memorandum of Understanding to allow visa-free travel for all categories of passport holders between Ghana and Zambia. And so it means as of this afternoon, when signatures were appended, Zambians don't need a visa to go to Ghana, and vice versa. This is an important step towards the free movement of our people on the African continent. Peace and security remain indispensable foundations for sustainable development. Ghana values our cooperation with Zambia in defense training, intelligence sharing, and peacekeeping, and we remain committed to strengthening collective security across our continent. Equally important is the quest for restitutive justice and restoration. The African Union's 2025 theme is Justice for Africans of African Descent, and this is both a moral imperative and a forward-looking call to action. As African Union's champion for reparations, Ghana will shortly sponsor a United Nations resolution on slavery. The resolution seeks to declare slavery as the greatest crime against humanity. And we will be honored to count on Zambia amongst its co-sponsors. Madam Speaker, I'm also addressing you this afternoon in my capacity as Union Champion for Gender and Development. Ghana has moved beyond symbolism to action. We've elected our first female Vice President and operationalized the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act, mandating a minimum of 30% female representation in all public appointments. Our reset agenda includes establishing a Women's Development Bank to unlock financing for female-led enterprises. But this is a continental struggle, and I urge us to advance together towards the decade of African women's financial aid and economic inclusion. When we invest in our women, we accelerate national development. Madam Speaker, the future of this world is African. The African Continental Free Trade Area offers us an unprecedented opportunity to boost intra-African trade, promote value addition, and accelerate industrialization. And so Ghana remains committed to working closely with Zambia to reduce trade barriers, to harmonize standards, and stimulate private sector partnerships. Our people are the true custodians of this partnership. The presence of Ghanaians in Zambia and Zambians in Ghana enriches both societies. Africa's democratic dividend, projected to account for a quarter of the world's population by 2050, demands investments in skills, innovation, and representation in global governance. Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you sincerely for this invitation to address this Parliament. Ghana remains steadfast in its commitment to strengthening our cooperation with Zambia, guided by mutual respect and shared destiny. Zikomo. May God bless the Republic of Zambia. May God bless the Republic of Ghana. And may God bless Africa. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. You're tuned into Parliament Television. That marks end of the Ghanaian President, Mr. John Dramani Mahama. He was addressing the House, and he's actually in the country on a 2-day state visit. Arrived yesterday, and his visit does come to an end tomorrow, the 6th of February 2026, and of course he's accompanied by his wife. There you have it. He's greeting members on the right side previously, and now he's greeting members on the left side. A number of issues that did come up in the address that he did make. He did state that the bilateral relationship between Ghana and Zambia dates back to the early years of African independence, particularly to the era of President and Zambia's founding president. And so the president of Ghana, meeting members of the opposition, and he did actually meet members on the other side immediately after the address that he made. And so earlier on I was saying the president did say that the bilateral relations between the two countries date back to the early years of African independence, especially the era of President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Zambia's founding president, and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana's founding president.
And he also did talk about areas of cooperation. He did talk about the trade, education, tourism, defense and culture. And of course he talked about strengthening bilateral relations between Ghana and Zambia. He also talked about the long-standing friendship that Ghana and Zambia has. And he did talk about the role of African parliaments in promoting unity, and also the vision of Pan-Africanism and African self-reliance.
And so that's the president of Ghana making his way out, and we must mention here that business will actually resume as usual. So I would urge you to stay tuned right here as we continue to bring Parliament closer to you.
Order. Order. Urgent matters without notice. The Honourable Member for Lundazi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The matter I wish to raise is directed towards the Minister of I said, Mr. Speaker, he's my brother. And I proudly know that he's a man. Mr. Speaker, the matter I wish to raise is directed to the Minister of Water and Sanitation Development.
You may proceed, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Lundazi has suffered a serious flood flash, which has caused the walls of Lundazi Dam, the one which Eastern Water has been using, to be washed away. In addition, Mr. Speaker, the dam walls for Mukomba has also been washed away, Mukomba Dam. Mr. Speaker, we are sitting on a time bomb. No water is being reserved in our constituency as at now. All the rivers, all the waters in the Lundazi River has been mopped off, and we are actually desperate now. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Water in order to sit here knowing very well that they are receiving is and if this was saved or without being, harvested, we are going to have serious sicknesses in that, like diarrhea, cholera, and many other diseases. Is the minister in order to be seated here and also not instructing any works to be done in Lundazi, especially that the dam wall is what will be able to assist us. Mr. Speaker, we need your serious intervention, especially that you come from Lundazi as well. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Order, Honorable Member. Order, Honorable Member. As much as it was, it's matters of urgent without notice, you are now presenting a point of order. However, the Honorable, you can come up with an urgent question that the Honorable Minister will be able to. So, Honorable Member for Kafisa.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to direct an urgent matter to the acting leader of government business, who is also the Minister of Home Affairs. Mr. Speaker, you are aware that government undertook an operation to remove those that were doing mining in specific places in Zambia, Mufumbwe being one of them. And as a result of that activity, Mr. Speaker, we've had many young people who had started doing economic activities in those remote mining places, going back to their residential areas. And in my recent visit to my constituency, Mr. Speaker, I found a report from officers from Zambia Police that the levels of crime have actually gone up because most of the young people do not have things to do, Speaker, as a result of not in the mining activities in places such as Mufumbwe. And my assessment, Speaker, that Mufumbwe is the only young men and women have been told to places. Mr. Speaker, the issue I wish to direct to the acting leader of government business is basically to accord him an opportunity to explain what is the plan, Mr. Speaker, for these young men and women who will no longer be doing those mining activities they've been doing in Mufumbwe and many other places. Mr. Speaker, it's important that this issue is addressed because we have young people that need job opportunities. Mr. Speaker, is the Minister of Home Affairs in order not to provide a report on what plans government has for these young men and women that will no longer be doing mining activities in these particular places? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I think order. Honorable Member Funkana, avoid debating while he's seated. in the same vein, you may come up with an urgent question that the Honorable Minister of Mines will be able to attend to. The Honorable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My matter of urgent importance goes to the Minister of Infrastructure. Since he's not around, Mr. Speaker, it goes to the Leader of Government Business. Leader of Government Business acting. Great East Road has become a death trap to all of us traveling going into the east. Today, Mr. Speaker, if you are driving, you may hit those potholes which are becoming now dramas, and it is difficult to navigate between Chongwe and the Rwangwa Bridge. In addition to that, our culverts along the same Great East Road, they have become a danger to the people traveling, especially those traveling at night. Leader of Government Business, earlier in 2024, there was a promise that by the Minister of Infrastructure that the road between Chongwe, or should I say, Lusaka roundabout to Rwangwa Bridge will be worked on. Today, we haven't seen any activities happening along Great East Road. Mr. Speaker, my question to I'm directing this question to the Minister of Infrastructure through the acting Leader of Government Business. When are you attending to this road? Because what is happening now, even your people you are seated with there, if you ask them, it's either they've got separation on their tires or they're changing tires every 1 month. Is there a plan government has to work on our Great East Road? Because now it has become a death trap. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Your matter does not qualify to be an urgent matter. However, you can get an urgent question that will be attended to. So let's make progress. Presentation of government bills. The Honorable Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to present a bill titled the Tobacco Control Bill number 40 of 2025. The objects of the bill are to A, provide for the protection of present and future generations from health, social, environmental, and economic consequences of tobacco use, nicotine and exposure to the harmful emissions of tobacco products, tobacco devices, nicotine products, tobacco, and provide for action. C, regulate the manufacture, distribution, sale of tobacco product, nicotine. D, provide for the packaging, tobacco device, nicotine product, or nicotine device. In E, regulate the advancement, promotion, and sponsorship of tobacco product or tobacco device, nicotine product, and nicotine device. F, domesticate the World Health Organization Framework, Convention on Tobacco Control. And in G, provide for matters connected with or incidental to the foregoing. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let the bill be read the first time.
The Tobacco Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2025.
The bill stands referred to the Committee on Health, Community Development and Social Services. The committee is required to submit its report on the bill to the House in due course. Honorable members who wish to make submissions on the bill are free to do so within the program of work of the committee. Questions for oral answer under Standing Orders 80. The Honorable Member for Katombola.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to withdraw the question because it's overtaken. The contractor is on site. These are all. Mr. Speaker, the contractor working on the Zimba-Nyawa Road is on site and is doing a good job. And the question is overtaken. We say thank you to the Ministry of Infrastructure.
Thank you. Next question, the Honorable Member from Pika.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. Question number 147.
The Acting Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Before I answer the questions, Mr. Speaker, I would like to congratulate the New Dawn government for making the Kwacha perform so well. Today, it's trading at around 18.4 to a US dollar. Congratulations to the hardworking New Dawn government and good policies of President Hakainde Hichilema, making the Kwacha one of the best performing currencies in the world. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Francis Kapianga MP wants to ask the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development whether government has any plans to construct the Mpika-Nabwalia Road in Mpika District. If so, when the plans will be implemented, and see what the estimated cost of the project is, and if there are no such plans, why? Mr. Speaker, the response is as follows. Government does have plans to construct the Mpika-Nabwalia Road in Mpika District, and that B, the government will endeavor to implement the plans once funds have been secured from the Treasury. C, a reassessment exercise would need to be undertaken by the Road Development Agency, Muchinga Regional Office, to update the cost estimation. D, as stated at A above, the government does have plans to construct the Mpika-Nabwalia Road in Mpika District. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary questions? The Honorable Member for Chiruvi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The road in question is a very important road, especially wildlife. Given the answer from the Minister, who was stated the road can only be done when are available.
Member, you ask your question?
I'm asking my question, Mr. Speaker.
You are debating?
Yeah.
So may you ask your question, Honorable Member?
Mr. Speaker, I'll ask the question, though these others are participating like they are speakers also. Mr. Speaker, where does the government intend to get the same resources? Because he said, when resources, where do they intend to get the resources? If this is not in the 2026 budget, where do they intend to get the resources?
That Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that question. I think that a responsible government works with a budget, and when the road is budgeted for and funds are made available, the road will be done. Otherwise, it is in the plan. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the contract had lapsed the work started, but because of challenges in funding. So the government will still secure funds and the
Thank you, Honorable Minister. For sure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. There was a contractor which was then cancelled. Maybe if it can be helpful, Minister, what period are we looking at in terms of getting the works done? You have just talked about the assessment. We don't even know whether the assessment of the cost of the road has commenced. What assurance would you give to the people of Mpika and in Abwalia as to when they should expect to see some works beginning on that road? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Acting Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. The assurance I can give the people of Nabwalia in Mpika is that government has plans to do roads right across the country. The development agenda of this government is to make sure that development is rolled out across the country. But of course, it all depends on the fiscal space. So if the funds are made available, and like I said, RDO will go and reassess after the lapse. I think because maybe of inflation and all, there is need to reassess the value of the contract to do this road. The assurance is that RDO will be going back to do this reassessment, and the road will be done once the funds are available, looking at how the reassessment will come out. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Correct. The Honorable Member for Dundumwezi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Member for Mpika is asking this question because he knows that UPND is bouncing just in the next few months. And he's trying to find out whether this carrying government will attend to them in the next 5 years as we continue voting for President Hakainde and his government. Are you confirming this, Minister, that you look into the plight of Mpika, as he's confirming that you are the one coming? That's why he has brought this question. Thank you.
The Acting Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, indeed. It's because he is aware that the UPND government will continue. And the plan road infrastructure they must touch all provinces, including Nabwalia. So it is in our long-term plan, and we will do it even beyond 2026. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Mpika.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to ask Honourable Minister a follow-up question. Honourable Minister, thank you so much for that response. Honourable Minister, the intention of the late President Michael Chirufya-Sata was to construct this road connecting Mchinga province to Eastern province via Nabwalia, in Ngawe on the other side. And it's a very important economic road owing to the abundance of wildlife in that particular chiefdom. You have stated that they have plans, the government has plans to do that road. And I'm of the view that if the government has plans, it must be a complete plan, which should include time frames as to when that plan has to be implemented. Otherwise, it's not a plan. Why doesn't that plan have time frames, Mr. Speaker?
The Acting Minister, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Member, for that question. I want to give a little bit of background, Mr. Speaker, maybe tagging on to what the Honorable has talked about. The contract was given in 2014, March, and it lapsed in April 2022, and only 50 kilometers of the 117 was only, I think, graded, trying to show that works are going on. So when you look at 2014 and 2022, you are talking about over 7 years, and the contract was awarded. And when this government came, it looked at, because this road was said to have been done, because having been given in 2014, it shows that the road should have been done. And by then, Nkalaka Timber had not yet come into power. And when President HH came, we relooked at the whole plan and said, can we replan now and do the right thing? So that when we say we are doing this road, we mean what we say. Nkalaka Timber is umuntu mkaliwa ishuboku bombasana, like President HH. So, Mr. Speaker, yes, we do have plans. We are now replanning the vision over this road so that now we can give a clear timeline of when and how. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I'm enjoying the answers from the Honorable Minister, though not very clear. Mr. Speaker, I would like to draw the attention of the Honorable Minister to the challenges that the people of Nabwaria face. Mr. Speaker, there is literally no road connecting this of about 30,000
May you
people.
ask your question, Honorable Member?
My question is, this road was being done under the Link Zambia 8,000 road sector plan. Under your government, Honorable Minister, do you have a similar plan under which this road will be done? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Acting Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Mr. Speaker and Honorable Member, I cannot follow a plan that failed. So there is no way we can have a similar plan. That's why we are replanning. We have said first, we are trying to have RDA go back there and redo the design and also give us the figures on which will base the contract. So if you are asking me whether I have similar plans with what failed, I cannot follow what failed. I can only learn from what failed, that you don't give projects anyhow and store them. So we are going to learn from those that failed to do the road. For us, we are going to do it. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next question, the Honorable Member for Kafinsa.
Question number 148.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Member for Kafinsa is asking a question to the Minister of Energy in 3 parts. A, what the name of the company constructing the crude oil refinery in Dola district? B, why the government opted to construct a new refinery as opposed to capitalizing in any oil refinery? And C, what the terms and conditions of the contract between government and the company at A are once response is as follows. The name of the company is Zambia Petrochemical Energy Company Limited. In B, government is not constructing a new refinery. However, modernizing the Indeni Petroleum Refinery plant would require substantial capital investment, which government doesn't have. In C, as you may be aware, the government energy financing and procurement of petroleum products for the Zambian market. This policy reform is intended to promote efficiency, transparency, and competition by enabling the private sector, particularly oil marketing companies, to take the leading role in the supply of petroleum products. This policy and regulatory environment has also facilitated private investment in the petroleum subsector. In this regard, Fujian Jiangxin is investing in the development of crude oil refinery to be operated by Zambia Petrochemical Energy Company Limited, a special purpose vehicle established for this purpose. The ownership structure comprises 30% equity held and 7% held by Fujian Jiangxin. Under this arrangement, IDC has contributed land, while Fujian Jiangxin is providing a financing, technology, expertise, and IDC is not investing any other capital. The investment demonstrates the government's commitment to create an enabling environment policy that attracts private sector investment, enhance value addition, and strengthening the national petroleum security. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Kafisa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm on record asking government to recapitalize Indeni, and when I was told that there's a new investor that is coming to invest into a new refinery, I was very curious, and I still remain very curious, Mr. Speaker, to find out why government did not basically recapitalize Indeni instead of having to relocate people in the area that is affected, having to start looking for designs, looking for money. Why didn't government just make the simple decision, Mr. Speaker, to recapitalize Indeni? If there's an investor coming with millions of dollars, why not direct that investment into an existing refinery, which is Indeni? And the answer that was given initially was that we needed just about $200 to $300 million. So my question to the Minister of Energy, why didn't we simply engage the investor to inject money into Indeni as opposed to building a new refinery? That is my first follow-up question, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Member. Mr. Speaker, the issue of recapitalizing the old Indeni was assessed, and it has been discovered according to the private sector assessment that that refinery is outdated. It requires a lot of money, whereby the private sector have found it that it doesn't make sense to recapitalize the outdated refinery. So this is a private sector participation. It's not the government that is constructing the refinery. So it is an assessment of their business plan. I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Kafinsa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the laws of Zambia are very clear. The Regulator Energy Regulation Board is a government entity. The policy for the energy sector is controlled by government. A decision, Mr. Speaker, still lies with government. An investor comes into Zambia through ZDA, they want to invest money, the decision still lies with government. I still want to understand, given the response that has been provided by the Minister, I'm aware that government is not injecting money, but from a policy point of view, from a regulatory point of view, from the government thinking point of view, the decision still lies with government. Did you advise the investor that we have an old refinery that simply needs a hydrocracker, and that hydrocracker, if replaced, will be able to operationalize Indeni Petroleum? Mr. Speaker, that is my second follow-up question.
The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat myself. I have said that the old Indeni refinery is outdated. The technology which is there is outdated according to the private investor. They have done their assessment. So our job as government is to create an environment which allows these private sectors to invest. Yes. So our role is not to dictate, to say, no, whether you have done this assessment, you have to recapitalize the Indeni. No. Correct. Our job is to create an enabling environment for the private sector to participate in the energy subsector. I thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope the Honourable Member has heard your response loud and clear. The Honourable Member for Kankoyo.
I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was privileged to understand Indeni when I was doing my research during my degree at CBO. Indeni current maximum capacity to process diesel with its recapitalization amount remains at 90,000 metric tons per year. Zambia's current demand for diesel is growing towards 150 metric tons per year with the revamp of Mupani and KCM, and the future demand based on the economic expansion. The new refinery, Honourable Minister, is projected to produce over 200,000 metric tons of diesel once completed. Hence, the need to allow an investor who's going to produce more to meet future demands. Was capacity one of the reasons why the government saw it wise to allow a complete new refinery, looking at the future demand of fuel in the country? I thank you, Honourable Minister.
The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the Honourable Member. Indeed, the investment that is coming at a full throttle, it will be producing 802,500 tons per year. And also, like I responded in the first question, is that the assessment has been done. Our job is to make sure that we create an environment that is going to support investment, which is going to make this country to have energy security in the subsector. I thank you.
The Honourable Member for Shwangando.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I would like to start declaring interest due to the fact that, Mr. Speaker, I'm part of one of the oversight committees that has had a lot of interaction with Indeni Petroleum through the IDC. And IDC, as shareholder, are aware, Mr. Speaker, that that strategic investment of Indeni has had a very viable turnaround strategic plan, which, if implemented, would have seen Indeni improve its operations and production.
May you ask your question?
I would like to know I would like to find out from the Honorable Minister, what will then happen to that turnaround strategic plan, which IDC, as shareholder in Indeni, are very much aware of, and we have been to Indeni to interact with the management there, who have assured us that that strategy is implementable. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Member. Mr. Speaker, I did say that IDC are the ones who are in forefront. In fact, these are the ones who have even provided the land to construct that new refinery by partnering together with this Fujian Shaanxin investment. So these are the experts who understand probably more than the oversight that you provide, Honorable Member, because they are able to guide us, because that is an entity which we have given the mandate to analyze issues of investment. And these are the people who are providing the direction. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Next question, the Honorable Member for Kasenengwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The people of Kasenengwa would like to ask a question number 149. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Member of Parliament for Kasenengwa, would like to find out from the Minister of Health whether the government has any plans to recruit additional staff for the following health centers in Kasenengwa parliamentary constituency. In Part 1, Chipambaulo in Mpunza Ward, and in 2, Ruana in Wongwe Ward. In B, if so, when the plans will be implemented, and in C, if there are no such plans, why? Mr. Speaker, government remains firmly committed to recruiting additional health workers, not only for Chipembaulo Health Center in Mpunza Ward and the Rwano Health Center in Gongwe Ward of Kasenengwa Parliamentary Constituency, but also for other health centers across the country that are in need. This measure is aimed at strengthening our human resources for health and thereby improving access to quality health care services for all citizens. Mr. Speaker, in B, the deployment of additional health workers to the above-mentioned facilities will be implemented under the current 2025 National Health Worker Recruitment Exercise. Mr. Speaker, in C, government has plans, therefore D falls off. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Member for Kasenengwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
There is a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for recognizing me. I know that we are supposed to raise points of order contemporaneously. Mr. Speaker, when we have ministers presenting matters of national interest, it's important that when they are giving us responses...
What has been breached?
The point of order is on the Minister of Energy, Mr. Speaker. That the information we present here must be factual and verifiable. Is the Honorable Minister in order to deliberately duck my question, which I asked him what was going to happen to the turnaround strategy?
Honorable Member, remember you've risen on a point of order?
Yes, ma'am. That's
a senior
point of
member, you know how you present a point of order. You're debating now.
Is the Honorable Member or Minister of Energy in order to deliberately ignore to answer the question I clearly put to him about the turnaround strategies, which will then determine the fate of Indian Petroleum, a national strategic.
You are
institution.
debating, Honorable Member.
I seek your very serious ruling, Mr. Speaker. This is a matter of national interest.
Thank you. And you didn't even state which standing order.
Standing Order 71, Mr. Speaker.
Apparently, Honorable Member, you were once a minister. You know that what a minister says on the floor of the House, that's government position. And the minister just stated government position. May the Honorable Member for Kasenengwa proceed.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, and I also want to appreciate the Minister's response that they have also included the 2 mini hospitals for more staffing, unless I didn't get you right. Though I wanted to mention, Mr. Speaker, that these 2 facilities we are talking about here are called mini hospitals, but the way they operate do not conform to a mini hospital. So we wanted it to be, you, Honorable Minister, to be more specific when additional staff will be sent so that the hospitals can be fully operational. But if you are going to generalize to say as we employ more people, it means that these mini hospitals, that facility will be underutilized, will continue overcrowding the district hospital and the central hospital in Chipata district. And yet Kasenengwa, as a separate district, has got facilities which can fully attend to those people.
You are now
when
debating.
Specifically, Honorable Minister, will you beef up the 2 facilities so that they can operate fully as mini hospitals? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this government has indicated that it's firmly committed. In every province, we have got provincial health directors. In every district, there is a district health director. We have put up direct construction, and it's going on. And the government is aware of the deficit. According to the establishment of the entire requirement, it's about 151,000. But at the moment, the numbers we have fall below 50%. But this government, ever since it was formed under His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, has tried to make sure that recruitment goes on, despite the problems that we faced when we just came into government, when there was negative fiscal space. Today things are looking bright, and you can even see how the quarter is becoming very strong. Equipment is being bought, facilities are being built everywhere. Prices are coming down through. People of Zambia have got hope. I'm coming to that. Every year we are recruiting. I mentioned it, Mr. Speaker, that 2025 recruiting 2026 recruiting. What did I talk about? The district health directors. They submit returns indicating the deficits in terms of staff in every facility in the country. But because if you have got 2,000 which we are recruiting this year, for the whole country, we cannot fulfill the desire of any facility to the full UTH, not even in Doha, not even the general hospital you have in there. But the little numbers we have will be shared to all provinces and to all districts. And mind you, it's not all about nurses and doctors. It is about everyone. A doctor doesn't work alone. He works with the nurses, works with other staff. We are trying to be prudent to see how we can service, just as we have done. First of all, infrastructure is there, but we have tried to do our level best, and we thank those who are volunteering. They are helping us. But the government, through the President Hakainde Hichilema, we are looking into this issue for human capital, which the budget alone will not accommodate, but elsewhere, if possible, through what we are calling through other means, will be possible, then this matter might be addressed to some extent. In short, this recruitment of 2025 might give us some hope. We shall talk to the PhD and district hospital director at the district level to see what can be done to this place. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Member for Kasenengwa.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I want to assure you that the DHD and your staff in Eastern Province are doing a tremendous job under difficult conditions. So if you can consider them, I'm sure they will have some relief. But I can assure you that they are doing a lot, trying their best. So my take home to the people of Kasenengwa is that you have assured that in this recruitment, you will consider the 2 mini hospitals. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, the Honorable Member for Rufanyama. Member for Rufanyama. Is not around. His question elapses. Next question, the Honorable Member for Milanzi.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. The people of Milanzi are asking question 151.
The Acting Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable MP, Honorable Meresiana Piri, asked the Minister of Infrastructure when government will complete the construction of the Katete Chanida Road, at what percentage of completion the project was as of August 2025, what the cause of the delay is, what the cost of the outstanding works on the project is, and when the project is expected to be completed. The construction of the Katete Chanida Road is expected to be completed by 31st December 2027. As of August 2025, the project progress was at approximately 6%. The delay in completing the project is due to the fact that the concessionaire is yet to attach a clause to allow the commencement of construction works. The outstanding construction cost is estimated at $79,785,115 VAT inclusive. The project is expected to be completed by 31st December 2027. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary questions. The Honorable Member for Chadiza.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, we appreciate government initiative to promote private sector participation in road infrastructure development. However, on this the contract in question, or the concessionary contract in question here, which is under the Katete Chanida Road, is quite disappointing, Honorable Minister. The concession agreement, Honorable Minister, I know you are aware, was signed in 2022, and now 3 years has passed without the concessionaire attaining the financial closure. Honorable Minister, as people of Chadiza, we have got a high interest, or we are interested.
May you ask your question, Honorable Member?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, we want to find out whether it takes 3 years to attain financial closure under any PPP contract in Zambia. And if actually the concessionaire has failed to attain financial closure, Honorable Minister, why are we hesitating to cancel this concession agreement, especially the fact that this concessionaire has terribly failed? Even the amount of work that he has done, Honorable Minister, I can challenge you that if we are to go on site today, the works that have been done on the first maybe 3 kilometers in Katete district are pathetic. So, Minister, the people of Chadiz and Katete want to find out why is it that we are finding it difficult to cancel this very concession agreement with the aforementioned concessionaire. Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Acting Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member. I really do feel for you. This indeed has taken a bit of time. But what I can tell you is that by 30th March 2026, the period for financial close will expire, and that review that you're talking about is going to be conducted for end of March this year. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Member for Nyimba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, Katete Tanida Road, it's an international road. It's not just for the people of Katete, neither of Eastern Province. If you look at the contractor who is working on the site, was a due diligence done on the previous project he has worked in this country? And if it was, were the engineers or the contractor who is RDA or National Road Fund certified with the quality of works this contractor, or maintaining the period of other previous contracts he has performed in this country? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Acting Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I want to say that when a contract is being awarded, due diligence is always done. And I want to assure you, Honorable Member, that this government, I'll give an example of the mines because I'm some substantive minister there. There is a period where we said the Vedanta of the past and the Vedanta under UPND will be very different. And we have proved that. KCM is one of the best performing mines right now under the same contractor who was underperforming under a different jurisdiction. So even us, as we give these contracts, and that's why we are serious about this financial close. So come March 30th, we'll review, and then we'll be able to inform the nation on the way forward. So yes, due diligence was done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Milanzi.
Much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, the people of Milanzi are concerned with lack of progress on this project. As you have only 6% of the project commenced 3 years ago. How sure are you that the roadworks will be completed by 31st December 2027, as you have indicated?
The Acting Honorable Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member, for that question. Mr. Speaker, the current concessionaire has actually done 3.2 kilometers asphalt road already in Katete Central Business District. So he has done some preparatory works, as a financial close. For me, that shows commitment. I think this contractor would not love to lose the monies that they have already spent on this road and just abandon it. So I think the assurance is they are looking at the commitment of already having spent some money even before financial close. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Next question, the Honorable Member from Chinga.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Question number 152.
The Honorable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Honorable Member from Chinga Parliamentary Constituency is asking the Minister of Energy a question in 4 parts. In A, Mr. Speaker, they are finding out whether ZESCO Limited has any plans to undertake the following activities under the corporate social responsibility programs in Muchinga Parliamentary Constituency. 1, rehabilitation of Musa Minor Lusiwasi Road. 2, provision of utility vehicle to Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Serenge. In B, if so, when will this plan be implemented? And in C, if there are no such plans. Mr. Speaker, our response is as follows. Yes, government has plans to rehabilitate Musa Mine Lusuwasi Road through ZESCO to ease the mobility challenges. ZESCO is committing to facilitate the construction of the road before 2027. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Member is aware we have engaged. All what is remaining is to make sure that implementation takes shape. The request for the provision of a motor vehicle for the Chieftainess Serenge, Mr. Speaker. And I was saying, Mr. Speaker, that we are in touch. Even surprised to see this question because we have advanced in terms of arrangement, even including the roads. In this, the government is scheduled to rehabilitate the Musa Mine Lusuwasi Road before 2027. And C, plans are in place, as you have heard from the response.
The Honorable Member from Chinga.
And Honorable plans to rehabilitate the Musa Mine up to Ruswas Power Station Road. It is difficult to believe because since 1974, when ZESCO started operating from there, they have not done this road. And they have not done any social corporate responsibility. And that's the reason why I came to your office. So, Honorable Minister, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. My council, Serenge Town Council, is writing to ZESCO so that we can partner in doing that road, not in 2027, but in 2026. We are going to provide something and you provide something. That one is just a wait to you. Now my question is, Honorable Minister, since a lot of things were agreed in August, and you are saying that consideration is underway, is it because this question has come up today that you are saying consideration is underway? When I've been knocking in those offices, your office and the MD's ZESCO office, so that the Royal Highness can have an update as to what is being done, and nothing has been said. Now, is it because today the question is on the floor of the House that you are saying that consideration is being made? Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honorable. Speaker, the honorable member is we have discussed and we have really, like he has said, that this matter actually we discussed in August, but there's nothing which is seen to be done. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member should bear with us that we're going through a very rough period as ESCO in terms of financials. This is the time we're trying to make sure that we get the little that we have to get some power. So that we couldn't do anything from. And also, Mr. Speaker, I've said before 2027, meaning the program to do the road, honorable member, is going to. We are looking at the budget of 2026 to make sure that we fulfill what we promised Her Royal Highness Chieftainess Serenje. They trust us that there will be something that is going to be done. Of course, you have proposed also a better mechanism of making sure that this council also are going to provide something, and also ZESCO, they are going to put something on the table. Mr. Speaker, that road will be done, like I've said, before 2027. ZESCO are going to do something towards that road. And also, some of the promises that I have said that they are under consideration. Mr. Speaker, it's not about the question that the Honorable has put, but it's about what we are going through. Like I've stated earlier, that because of the situation that we are going through, the finances, the financial position of ZESCO was a bit bad because of load shedding. You are aware, Honorable Member. But we really promise that we are going to do something towards corporate social responsibility. And he has really said it that from 1964. But I'm sure this is a new ZESCO and a new Dawn administration. We will make sure that we will do it. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Nyimba.
Minister, as the people of Serenje, you know, these things we do, it's perpetual succession. The road hasn't been worked by ZESCO. And the period, I mean, you've given the people of Serenje that by this year, worked on. I know, Minister, coming in September. I wish the people of Serenje that when we come back in September, I mean, people from Mchinga under Chief Serenje, can you promise the people of Mchinga and the chiefdom of Serenje, Senior Tenants Serenje, that in September we are not the question, then you start giving we were in election, and the road will be worked by then, because for the last 52 years the road has on. So it's coming back. It's coming back. So I'm asking, are we not going to ask you this question in September, that why the road not been worked on? I thank you, Mr.
The Honourable Minister of
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Honourable. I receive, and actually a lot of indications are indicating that the able leadership of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema will still continue even after elections at the courtesy of the people of Zambia. And actually, even through the Honourable Member, is very sure that this administration will continue providing the services of Mchinga. Mr. Speaker, it's not only after election. Even when us, as Member of Parliament, go just to seek the mandate to the people of this country, the works will continue, because the government will still continue doing its mandate. These are the issues that cannot stop simply because we are going for election. These are the issues that are going to be worked on, whether with us in Parliament or not. The government still continue to do the right thing. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Chinga.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you so much, Honourable Minister. Indeed, this is the ZESCO under the new dawn. That's why it is very easy, and we talk. We go to ZESCO, we talk. I can't complain. My complaint is that when we agree on something being done, Mr. Speaker, pride, Chieftainess Serenje, who have got a power generation plant and to see Her Royal Highness, who has given land to ZESCO, jumping on Noah buses, going to Serenje and areas. When ZESCO is there, who can jump in and help? So, Honourable Minister, what is the status of electrification of Masase Primary School, which you taught the people of Serenje and Muchinga last year in November, that REA was going to do a feasibility study the following week? Where are we? Madam, Mr. Speaker, I thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Member is now trying to expand his question. Indeed, I did promise that REA are going to come in. But, Mr. Speaker, since the question was different from what the Honourable Member has just extended, I will not be in the position to give the what position we are with the REA by trying to rectify the area that the Honourable Member has mentioned. I'm sure we have a very good interaction with the Honourable Member. I will still invite him to come to the on Monday. Together, Member, we can find out what position we are in terms of rectifying the area that he has mentioned. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. The Acting Leader of the Government Business Adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the House do now adjourn.
Question is that the House adjourn. Any objection? The question is agreed to. The House is now adjourned.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for still being with us on Parliamentary Television. The House has just adjourned at 09 hours, being a Friday. So just now we look at business that has been considered on the floor of the House from the time business commenced at 14:30. Madam Speaker did make an announcement to suspend our business for 15 to 20 minutes to receive His Excellency the President of Ghana to address the House. After the 20 minutes, there was a special address to the House by His Excellency Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, who addressed the House today. After that address, presentation of a government bill, presented the Tobacco Control Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2025, which was read at the first time and referred to the Committee on Health, Community and Social Services. Is expected to present its report on the bill after questions for oral answer under Standing Order 80 and question 146, which was supposed to come from Katombola member of Parliament. This question was and question 147 came from Pika member. Directed this question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. He wanted to find out a question in 4 parts. whether the government has any plans to construct Mpika and Navalia Road in Mpika district. And the minister did say that government has plans. In part B, he wanted to find out if so, when such plans are implemented. The minister did say that plans will be implemented once funds have been secured from the treasury. In the other part of the question, he wanted to find out what the estimated cost of the project is. The minister said a reassessment exercise would need to be undertaken by the road development agency estimation. Question number 149 came from Kasenengwa Member of Parliament, Mr. Philemon Twasa. He directed his question to the Minister of Health. He wanted to find out a question in 3 parts, whether the government has any plans to recruit additional staff for the following health centers in Kasenengwa Parliamentary Constituency, Chipemba Ulo in Mpunza Ward and Luona in Ngongwe Ward. The minister said government has plans. In the other part of the question, the Member of Parliament for Kasenengwa wanted to find out if so when the plans will be implemented. And the Minister of Health has said that the deployment or will be implemented worker recruitment. Now 150 elapsed because the Member of Parliament was not present in the House. This is a question that was supposed to come from Rufanyama, Mr. Sia Chisumo. Another question came from Milanzi Member of Parliament. This is question 151. And she directed a question to the Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development. She wanted to find out when the government will complete the Chanida Road. And the Minister of Infrastructure indicated that by 31st December 2025, the government will complete the construction of the Katete Chanida Road. In part B, she wanted to know at what percentage of completion the project was as of August 2025. The minister did say that the project was at 6% as of August 2025. In the other part of the question, she wanted to find out what the cause of the delay in completing the project is. And the minister did say that concessionaire is yet to attain financial closure. In the other part of the question, she wanted to find out what the cost of the outstanding works on the project is. The minister did say that 79,785,115 US dollars is the outstanding works on the project. And in the last part of the question, she wanted to find out when the project is expected to be completed. The minister said the project is expected to be completed by 31st. The last question on the order paper, Member of Parliament, Minister of Energy. He wanted to find out a question in 3 parts, whether ZESCO Limited has any plans to undertake the following under the corporate Parliamentary Constituency. These are rehabilitation of the Musa Mine, Bisiwasi Road, and a provision of a utility vehicle to her royal chieftainess in Serene. Said the government has plans. The government wanted to find out if so when the and the minister said 27. House today, Thursday, 5th February. Me, Matimba Mkua, and my Sindaza Jonga, and of course on behalf of the entire production crew, keep watching Parliament Television.